Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Lois Wine with you, a special guest. Some great, and also give you some good information that you can start using right away. Christian, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me on today.
Can you tell us a little bit about?
You're breaking up just a little bit on the broadcast here, but I think you said for me to tell you a little bit about myself, so I'll do that. My name is Christian Tombers, and I'm the owner of Charlie Tango Productions. Website is thinksales101.com. What I do is marketing and sales coaching for entrepreneurs, for individual salespeople, for sales staff, for people in career transition. I can do one-to-one meetings. I can do group workshops. And what I teach is marketing, selling, and I also do some inspirational and motivational speaking.
Best time to start upgrading your training time?
Well, training is an ongoing thing. So whenever somebody realizes that they need to learn more about sales, anytime's a good time. And the fact is, any business owner has a business. Somehow, some way, sales are always involved. Even if the business owner themselves aren't doing the selling, they still need to know that their sales staff are doing the proper job of selling. So everybody from the sales rep all the way up to the sales manager and the business owner should continually go through some kind of sales training, because even selling changes over time. Biggest change recently has been the internet, because a lot of consumers are now pre-informed and pre-educated about a lot of different products. So a business owner needs to know how to make themselves distinguish themselves from their competition, so that their customers will see that they're the ones that they need to do business with.
Well, who is a perfect client for you?
Well, perfect client for me is anybody that would like to either refresh their sales knowledge, because I have worked with a lot of experienced salespeople who realize that because they've done it for so long, they've forgotten a lot of the details of selling, and maybe haven't even received some new techniques. They might be a little rusty in their techniques. And obviously the person who is starting a new sales position, or somebody who's put in a position where they need to sell, but they feel that they don't know how to sell, they're afraid of selling, they don't think that they are a salesperson, I can work with them. And I can also work with people that are in career transition, people that are looking to get into a sales position because they say there's always a job out there for sales. And if somebody wants to just get the basics so they can pass the interview and then go through the corporate training. And by the way, speaking of corporate training, I'm not looking to change any corporate training. What I do with companies that already have their own in-house training is I help enhance their training. I take their training a step further, because many times the training leaves one thing out, and that is, what do I do when the techniques that we're taught don't work? So I teach salespeople how to think outside the box and get the sales that otherwise would have slipped right through their fingers.
Oh, yeah, thinking outside the box. That's always a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you give us some business tips, please?
Well, the first business tip is don't sell. And it sounds like an oxymoron, because here I'm a sales trainer telling you not to sell. But if you think it through, it does make sense. Customers do not like to be quote unquote sold. They do like to buy things. So the job really is not to sell them. The job is to cause them to want to buy. If they want to buy from you, you wind up having a customer, you wind up having a sale. And if they don't want to buy from you, they might only be buying just to get you out of there, and then the cancellation winds up beating you back to the office, and that doesn't do anybody any good, because we all know that bad news always travels 10 times faster than good news. So there are many situations where it's just better to walk away, because your product or service just simply does not benefit the customer. So the idea is not to sell. The idea is to cause them to want to buy. Another tip I have is don't believe everything that you think, because many salespeople go down the wrong path. When a customer, for example, says, that's a lot of money, a lot of salespeople take that as a price objection. And maybe it never was a price objection. Maybe it was just simply a statement of fact, no different than that's the ceiling, that's the floor, and that's a lot of money. And I personally witnessed, and we covered this in my workshops, situations where customers say something and the salesperson thinks there's no sale there, and all we had to do is add one more question. We sat back down and actually wrote the order. Otherwise, we would have walked out without a sale. And in some industries, the odds of that customer buying from anybody within the next 12 months would be less than 20%. And that's something else that I teach for salespeople that do in-home sales. How do I do a one-call close? In other words, you're telling the customer they need to buy tonight to get the special offer without being asked to leave, because a lot of homeowners perceive that as pressure. And I've developed a technique where the customer's response is 180 degrees to that. They're saying, yeah, I should get a discount from you if I buy from you tonight. What'd you have in mind? And as a result of that, I've received a lot more sales than other people within that industry that I can also teach and pass on to individual salespeople that do in-home sales. And another interesting thing is I teach how to do the so what test. Many salespeople have gone through sales training classes where they're taught the feature, advantage, benefit workshop. And the whole idea is that people don't buy the features, they don't buy the advantages, they buy the benefits. And I've teach 7 benefits that cause most people to buy whatever product or service you have. Many business people only can pick maybe 2 or 3 out of the 7, and during the workshops we add more to the 2 or 3 that they already picked so that they can stand above their competition and have more benefits than somebody within the same industry. And what the so what test does, it boils down to which of those 7 benefits is actually the true benefit as to why that product or service should be in that customer's hands, why they should buy the product. And that has opened a lot of business people's eyes and changed their marketing, changed their literature, the brochures, the way they present themselves. And this can even be just personally, so what, that you should do business with me, the person, not necessarily the product or service, because the one common ingredient that every salesperson has and every salesperson's presentation is themselves. So no matter what the competition has, the one thing they don't have, that is you.
Great information. Well, if somebody wanted to expand and learn more about you, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, there's a couple of ways to reach me. One is by email. My email is crtombers, Tombers, crtombers@yahoo.com. I can also be reached by text, area code 317-523-3253. That's the best way to reach me by text. Or by telephone, I've got a very simple phone number. It's area code 317, which unfortunately we all now have to use the area code because they run out of numbers. So it's area code 317, and then the number is 5, the number 5, and then the letters SALES, sales, more than one sale, and then 5. So it's 5 sales 5. Now translated numerically, that's 317-572-5375. But the easiest way to remember it is 5 sales 5. And I also have a website. It's www.thinksales101.com. And best way to get involved in my workshops is contact me and find out what my next upcoming workshops are. I can do workshops that are regularly scheduled. I can also work with people individually for private one-to-one coaching, and also put together coaching sessions at their place of business or any location of their choosing. So I'm willing to travel and work anywhere within central Indiana or the United States for that matter.
Great. All right. Any closing thoughts?
Well, I appreciate you having me on your show today. And whatever anybody decides to do, always remember that people don't like to buy. Don't like to be sold. They like to buy things. So keep that in mind. And if I can be of assistance, I do offer a complimentary consultation by telephone. We can talk 15, 20 minutes, just see if there's a match in you doing business with me. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. And I have even offered my one-to-one coaching clients a money-back guarantee. If they don't feel after we do our 1 or 2 hour session that they got their money's worth, they do not have to pay me, because I feel that if you didn't get your money's worth, obviously you shouldn't pay me. So thank you, and I wish everybody health, wealth, success, and plenty of happiness.
Well, thank you very much. And I want to thank you, all of you who are watching, and looking forward to sharing more great wisdom with you, and looking forward to seeing you again.